Hey guys, I'm Alena and I am a second year BA Honours Economics student at St. Stephen's College, and today I'll be walking you through its Christian minority interview process. So let's get started. So once you receive your call letter from the college, make sure that you go through all the instructions very well and abide by them. The first process of your interview will be a document verification. The technical team will send you a Meet link and you will be required to carry physical copy of some of the documents like your baptism certificate, Aadhaar card, class 10th and 12th mark sheet, etc. And you will be asked to show these to the camera. And once they verify these documents, then they'll be sharing with you the interview link with the faculty members. After that is where the real interview starts. So we can divide the interview into three sections. First will be where you talk about yourself, your personality related questions, what you did in school. Second will be faith, where you will be asked questions from the Bible. And the third will be academic oriented, where you will be asked questions from whatever discipline you are applying for. So before we get into the actual interview process, just keep these few points in mind. Preferably wear something formal and be neat and tidy. Keep your background very simple. Avoid using any virtual backgrounds, as that is what they mentioned in my call letter. Apart from that, one thing I have noticed after giving a few interviews is that when you enter the room, the panel members might have their cameras and mics switched off. So it will be a good gesture if you go ahead and turn on your camera. If possible, go ahead and greet them as well and then mute yourself and wait for their response. Do not wait for them to greet you first. Even if you don't speak, at least keep your camera on at all times. Preferable if you greet them first. So we begin with the first section of the interview, which is personality based. Naturally, first question they might ask is to introduce yourself. As far as I remember, they did not. They just went through my profile and started asking me questions. But if they do, then properly make a proper introduction. Go ahead with it. You'll be getting follow-up questions to your introduction. And suppose I mentioned about YouTube and the extracurriculars in school. So they asked me follow-up questions about that. What did you do in school? What positions did you hold? Etc. Very basic questions. You can prepare a few of them. This section won't be that long, and then they'll move on to the faith part. So in the next section, that is faith, they ask you questions from the Bible. Here are a few sample questions that were asked to me or my friends. They asked how many testaments are there in the Bible, how many gospels are there. You can learn about the number of disciples Jesus had, who betrayed Jesus, and what do you think is more important, Easter or Christmas, and any favorite character from the Bible. So whenever they ask such descriptive questions, be prepared for follow-ups. So even if you mention any character, you should know a bit background about that character. Why do you like them? Any favorite Bible verse? Where was Jesus crucified? What was the first miracle? So these basic questions, just prepare. And even if you don't know the answer, do not panic and just don't stay quiet. Like, even if you're thinking, let them know your thought process, or let them know that, oh, you need 2 minutes. It's fine even if you give the wrong answer. I messed up the first miracle. I gave a very ridiculous answer, but he was pretty chill about it. They might seem a bit strict, but it also depends on how you interact with them. So you have to appear calm, even though I know you'll be very nervous, even I was, but you don't have to show your nervousness on camera. And yeah, so basically these few questions around faith, and then next they move on to the academic portion. So I had only applied for economics honors at Stephens. If you apply for multiple courses, you will have to give that many interviews. And for me, since I was from an economics background, I was asked both economics and maths questions. If you are from a non-economics background, you will only be asked mathematics questions, but you will definitely be asked, why are you taking up economics if you haven't studied it before? So prepare that question. Also, since I had only applied for economics, I was also asked that, why did you not apply for other courses? So you should be very clear about these two questions. Why are you applying for this course? why are you applying for this course at Stephens? So prepare these 2 questions well. For my academic questions, for maths, I was asked a few probability questions. Keep a pen paper ready. He can ask you simple calculation based probability questions. Then I was asked like the value of log -1, like he gave me a function, asked me if it was increasing or decreasing. He can ask you to make graphs of a particular function he'll give you. From the economics part, he had asked me about cash reserve ratio and like different reserve ratios, what was the current ratio in India, about HDI, what was India's rank, and he'll ask you in detail. They'll go into the depth of it. So even if you give the definition of a reserve ratio, what is a reserve ratio, the cash kept with central bank, they'll like, where do they keep the cash? So they'll go in depth. They'll try to push you thoda to see how you react. So here what they're trying to test is not your knowledge, but how you react under stress and how are you able to interact with them. So for questions like, for mathematics questions, when they asked me whether the function was increasing or decreasing, or what was India's HDI rank, I did not know about these questions, or like the current reserve ratio rate and all. I did not know the answer to these questions, but you have to like convey it to them that I don't know it currently, I'll read upon it once after this interview, or that I'm not aware of this. So it's okay if you don't know the answer, but just remain confident at all times and it will all be sorted. So my interview lasted around 10 to 15 minutes. There were 5-6 members in the panel, but only 2 people interviewed me, one the HOD of economics and one person to ask me questions from faith and personality and basic questions. So don't be too nervous, don't keep on trying to give the right answer, but whatever you speak, know what you're saying and be confident in it. And I really hope it all turns out well. All the very best to all of you, and I hope to see you at Stephens soon. Bye bye, all the best.